We have two kiddos, first being Ezekiel. We call him Zeke.
He's just wears his heart on his sleeve, and he is so thoughtful and cares about other people. You know, just a really kind kiddo. Samantha is a spark plug. Like, just a ball of energy.
That's just her all the time. Like, can you hold me? Can you pick me up? Can you sit with me? Can you read with me? Like, she just likes to be connected to someone.
I don't think anybody ever starts a journey into trying to conceive a child with like, this is gonna go really bad, right? Like, it's mostly hopeful, right? You're doing something that you're really excited about. And early on, we just kind of figured, okay, well, you know, it's just maybe gonna take us a little longer than other couples. And in that time, you become hyper aware of all the people around you who are having success with something that you're not. The longer when I went on, it was just like mounting, right? Of just all of this pressure, and you have like on a monthly basis this like wave of hope, and then this like despair, you know, for a while, and then kind of get back into wave of hope. And it's like just a really tough cycle to be on. And I think when we hit our struggles with Zeke, I leaned so much into the biology of it all. If I just know all the things, if I become an expert at like conception and all of these things, then we'll figure out the perfect moment to get it right. And I felt like if I just knew more, worked harder, prayed harder, I could like circumvent, you know, his will and his timing.
I think a lot of what I tried to do was put a positive spin on it. Oh, not this time. It's, you know, there's a reason for it. You know, God's got a plan. And all those things sound great in theory sometimes, but when you're in the middle of it, it's really challenging to continue down that path and feel, you know, strength through it. I didn't do a very good job of like pouring into the word at that time. I tried to lean into friendships and just try to like separate from that experience at times.
When we hit tough times, he wanted to be out and with others and forget about it. I wanted to melt into the couch and not see anybody. And so that led to some pretty destructive behaviors on my part. I wasn't taking care of myself. My thought life was not very positive. If I was praying and in the word, it was like currency to like check box the thing that I think I should be doing in order to get the result that I wanted. It was hard to like look in the mirror and recognize myself at that time. Just consumed with worry, consumed with this thing that I was making really such an idol, you know, of just wanting to get to this moment and not being focused on God. You know, I was kind of consumed with worry at that point, to where we needed to get to a place of intervention.
We just ended up connecting with our pastor at the time, and at that point we just needed to lay it out on the table and say, this is what's been our experience. We're not okay. Like, we're just not okay. And it was just a matter of like saying that to somebody else that allowed us to take a deep breath and know that God's got us. He was going to work in our lives some way, shape, or form. Didn't happen right away. Right? We still didn't get pregnant right away, but at least we knew we had somebody to lock arms with outside of the two of us. That was a turning point for me where I didn't feel like we were alone anymore.
The older Zeke got, the more we were like, we love this little family that we have, but it still feels like there's a hole. Like there's somebody's missing. And I think like just out of ignorance and blind faith, we were just like, oh, we went through this already. Like we went through the tough time. It'll be fine this time because we figured it out, right? Like we got this down now. And so as we started the journey again and, struggled again, I think it was just so much easier for us to calibrate, right? And like, okay, here's what this looks like. Here's where we know we failed miserably last time. And so for me personally, I knew what that meant was I could not isolate. Like, that's all I did the first time was isolate. From a faith perspective and like God putting me in that moment, it was also like a bit of hope for all of them that like, hey, she went through this once and then came out on the other side, right? And for me, it was exactly what I needed to have a community to walk with and kind of navigate this time.
Sharing my journey with other people that I worked with and being able to hear that other people were going through it too. I didn't have that the first time around. Being able to share this journey with others and allow them to know that we've gone through it too. You're not the only one, you're not alone. It allowed me to maybe make my shift in mindset there of like, we need to pick up our head and look around.
And I feel like that's kind of where we're at today is making sense of everything that we've been through is so simple because of the people that God puts in our lives.